Alright, let's talk about by far the most upsetting situation developing during the player break, and that's the ambiguity around what's going to happen to s1mple. There are various reports coming out, both from people like Overdrive, as well as from Striker on the latest episode of HLTV Confirmed, that seem to indicate that FaZe are not interested in signing the GOAT of CSGO to their roster long term. So after his tenure ends and he has to go back to Navi's bench, he once again enters the miasma, where we don't know where he's going to find his permanent home. s1mple showed great peaks as well as low lows at the Austin Major, but overall I and many people walked away with a sign of hope that s1mple can return to some of his form in years past, and if nothing else, he still has enough to offer to a team that's willing to take him. The question is, why is nobody moving on it? Let's go ahead and talk about it. If you guys like these videos, the best thing you could do is leave a like, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We recently hit 7,000 subscribers, so thank you guys so much for the constant support. We can definitely hit 10K by the end of the year, so make sure you help out with that today. Once again, there is no sponsored segment, so I'd like to take a second to also thank our channel members. It is the best way to support me directly. For $5 a month, you get a cool little logo next to your name. You also get your name at the end of the video, as well as in the description. Thank you so much to our channel members, and without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. And by far the best place to start is with this most recent episode of HLTV Confirmed, where while talking about this rumored move of Zwei going for Magics and Team Spirit, Striker, Sponge, and Professor went on a little bit of a tangent, kind of talking about free agency, the player break in general, where Striker went on to drop this clip. Now, once again, full credit to HLTV Confirmed. I'll link the episode in the description down below, as well as their social medias. I'm just going to be playing the audio, just in case there's any issues with like copyright in the YouTube systems. Please go watch the full episode. Thank you to HLTV Confirmed for doing what you guys do. It's a fantastic podcast. Let's go ahead and run the clip.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's again, this is just my like look at FaZe and the lack of information I've seen around them. Like, it just doesn't look like they're after some big players or anything like that, or any other big move. And I saw some comments on my like piece about like taking s1mple's tweets seriously, you know, and I'm like, I don't think you've been paying attention, you know, like every time s1mple has tweeted about his future has been right. Like when he was talking about Falcons, he instantly said he's not sticking around. Like that time around, every time, like s1mple just doesn't have a filter, and so like he wouldn't be taking jabs at Navi about him being jailed and all these things if he was going to FaZe. You know, like for me at this point, it would be a very big surprise if s1mple was going anywhere, unless he's coming back to Navi, let's say. And even that would be a surprise to me because of that jab. You know, like why would you take a stab at your organization and just come back to the lineup? You know, like it could be just a joke that I don't get. Like, of course I could be naive, but it's just not. It just doesn't look like that at all. And I've 100% heard that is not, like, s1mple is not signing with FaZe.
So it's definitely going to be that last part that is pretty unfortunate to hear if you're a FaZe and or s1mple fan. And that's that, based on what Striker has heard, FaZe seem to be uninterested in pursuing s1mple long term. Now, following this over the course of yesterday while I was working on other projects, there was also an Overdrive stream that happened, and Overdrive seemed to intimate that FaZe are also not going to be going forward, and that Brokey would be stepping back in, which, yeah, so if you guys know me, you guys have been watching the videos for a little bit, it was a rough day yesterday hearing that news. I'll save the Brokey Apocalypse rant for if that move gets confirmed. Trying to think about it. Anyway, let's focus about s1mple. So, I was a big proponent that FaZe had nothing else to do this offseason except sign s1mple and make this team a complete unit for an entire season. I think that comes from a couple of fronts. First off, big fan of s1mple, don't know if you know this, but it's also the move that makes by far the most sense for all parties involved. FaZe love to sign big name players. They are milking the fuck out of s1mple for content right now. So why wouldn't you want him on your team when he already showed the potential to be significantly better than Brokey has at any point in the last year and a half? And for them, in terms of the content, in terms of the potential of the server, makes total sense. For s1mple, it also makes total sense. Because here's the thing. The one thing s1mple needs more than anything else right now is the ability to play an entire goddamn season without just coming back for 1 month before the major on a Hail Mary run yet again. Like, the only way we can ever have a definitive answer to what can s1mple do in CS2 is if he gets consistent playing time. He has to find a home eventually, And I really loathe the idea that the only way that's going to be a reality at this point is if Na'Vi bring him back for Wonderful, which seems unlikely, or we have to wait for his contract to lapse. Which if you're Na'Vi, why would you just let him walk away? This makes no sense for their end as well. I'm sure FaZe offered. It'd be really weird if FaZe didn't. There's other teams who have surely offered. Why won't you sell the guy? I get it's simple, and letting go of the GOAT is not exactly an easy thing to do, but if you don't plan on using him, why are you putting the guy in roster jail? Why are you saying that he just gets this infinite, ambiguous purgatory where he doesn't get to know when he gets released? It's just so weird, man. The whole situation just feels very odd, and I can't really know who is at fault here, because I don't really know what Na'Vi are doing with him at this point. Falcons surely offered the bag for s1mple. There's no way they didn't. I'm sure a team like G2 has reached out at some point. FaZe have obviously reached out. Like, I understand, again, not being willing to sell him, but at a certain point, I feel like you kind of owe it to him in the community to state why or do something with him. Like, again, this idea of just holding s1mple in purgatory seems like the worst possible option for all parties involved, because now you have s1mple kind of like taking jabs at Na'Vi as an org for not bringing him in or doing anything. So is Na'Vi going to want to bring him in, knowing that he may be a little bit soured against them? I would think not. It's just odd. The whole situation is odd. I think what bugs me the most is that we're once again going to enter a period of what if. Like, what could Kerrigan have done with a full player break to prep and really work the role situation for Liege and Rain, really bed s1mple into the system, and most importantly, just continue to get reps under his belt? s1mple seemed really reinvigorated with this push for the Austin Major. He was grinding more. It looked like everything was building up for FaZe to make this blockbuster announcement, and now it feels like it's going to be undercut, because here's the reality. People are going to kind of brush aside how s1mple played at the Austin Major, but before that quarterfinals game against the Mongols, s1mple was in like the top 5, top 7-ish players at the event. He was averaging around a 1.37 rating. It's only because he had an epic blow up on stage, which, yeah, pretty bad timing for that he ends with a 1.17. You get a little further, s1mple had the highest op kills per round of any player at the Austin Major. So the signs were there. I think this is honestly a fair argument. Will s1mple be able to get back to a point where he can fight ZywOo and Donk as the best player in the world? I think that's unlikely, just given the fact that Donk and ZywOo are younger, more immediately in their prime, and s1mple's only getting older. So I'm not going to say he's going to get back to be a #1 player in the world, but s1mple could be top 10 easily. I would argue he could be top 5. Consider like how much the depth chart falls off after ZywOo, Donk, m0NESY. You immediately kind of drop down. You have like Robson, Shiro. You have like Nico, Zantaras hanging around there. s1mple can get back to be around those guys. I think that's more than in the cards. I just really hope this is like the one video I make that is going to age the worst. I hope that like Striker will somehow fed misinformation. I hope Overdrive remains wrong and FaZe just bring him in. Because the part that is going to kind of hurt the most to me, and I really hate to bring this up because I actually genuinely like how much FaZe does in terms of content creation. Like, as a fellow content creator, I really respect a lot of the videos they put out. But dude, it would look so bad to me if they just basically keep milking s1mple for views on YouTube and then kick him out the door. Like, yeah, hey, sorry, dude, you know, your contract for the stand-in period ends soon, and we need to, you know, milk that for as many YouTube videos and thumbnails as we can because, you know, content. Like, that would just feel really bad, I think. If I was s1mple, I'd be pretty pissed off about that. And then lastly, Brokey. Please, God, no. Like, I like Brokey. I want Brokey to go to a different team, kind of reinvent himself, you know, go out to the temple, you know, become a Buddhist monk, come back balder than he already is, and then, you know, return to the great Brokey we all know and love. But I don't know. It would be Herculean for Brokey to sit on the bench for 2 months, be taken out because he wasn't fit to purpose, only to be brought back off the bench because they couldn't sign the guy they thought they were going to replace him with. If I was Brokey, where's the loyalty? How are you supposed to come back and play in that environment? You would have to just be an emotionless person to not be affected by that. And then Brokey also hasn't played officials for 2 months. Like, he was already not doing well. I don't think a 2-month break is going to immediately fix and heal all wounds. It would just be bad. Like, at that point, FaZe should be signing someone else. You should just be picking up Dexter or something. But God forbid, please do not bring Brokey back. Anyways, those are my thoughts. A little bit of an incoherent ramble. This is like the closest you guys are gonna get to like a fucking Moist Critical impression for me as far as video format goes. So if you guys enjoy this glimpse into my psychosis, make sure you show me by leaving a like, leaving a comment down below, subscribe to the channel, 10K by the end of the year, all that good stuff. Thank you to our channel members. You guys are the lifeblood of this channel. If you want to support me directly, it's the best thing you can do. $5 a month, you get a custom logo next to your name, you get your name at the end of the video as well as in the description. Thank you so much to our channel members: Justin, Jesse Furley, Milan Berta, Bubblesj, Dr. Cocktor, Patatas Kaftesi, PTR, B1 Games, Cody Foxworthy, Justin Vander Vegt, I'm Flashbang, Snowman White, Rowdy, Vergil'sPlasticChair, LBKcs, Snax Enjoyer, Crunchy Water, and zerotwocs. Become a channel member today. Support me. Twitch.tv/LionHeartZ2. Follow me there. Bye.